Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm Mike Stansbury. Thanks for being here. We got a 2-for-1 special. We got Ryan Bevilacqua and Cory Jacobson. They're out of the Northeast, South Jersey, Philadelphia area. Guys, introduce yourselves. How are you today?
Doing great, man. Thank you for having us. We're happy to be on the show. Thanks for having us.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Guys, real quick, got to pay the bills. At Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs to 5X their businesses, to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted and allow them to live the lives they've always dreamed of. Speaking of living the lives that they're always dreamed of, guys, tell me the origin story. How did you guys meet? What happened? How did you guys get and enter into the world of real estate investing? Tell me about it.
Ryan always likes when I tell the story, so I'll jump in here. So Ryan and I were in our early to mid 30s now, but we met back in college. So we both went to Temple University in Philadelphia, and we kind of just we're in the same fraternity. We kind of felt like there was a spark connection. We didn't know what that meant, but we just really liked hanging out with each other. After school ended, we ended up working at the same corporate job together. We lived together, so we were coming home from long days, and we always loved talking about real estate, personal finance, investing, entrepreneurship, even before we were doing any of this stuff. We found a knack for it, and we were like, I think this has got to be better than what we're doing with our 9-to-5 job. Even though we both liked it, we just weren't making a ton of money, and we were like, man, this is what you go to college for. Like, you just work 9 to 5, and that's it, huh? So I got the bug. I started doing some research, and I ended up house hacking. So I bought a 3-bed, 2-bath. I lived in one of the bedrooms and took 2 of the roommates that lived with us to live with me. And they ended up subsidizing my mortgage, and I was living for free. While Rye was doing the same thing in a different capacity, he just went and bought a primary residence with his wife. He saw that I was like taking this thing a little bit further. I bought a duplex in South Jersey. He came back to me. He's like, dude, this is the thing that we've been saying, we've been talking about. Like, let's do it together. And I said, you know what I think would be a really good idea is if we start a podcast on a social media platform detailing our journey, because I love Bigger Pockets. Shout out to them. But it seemed like everything that they were talking about at the time was unattainable. Like, I didn't know how to reach this super, super high levels. Maybe people would resonate with us and our story and follow along in our journey with us. So that is kind of the origin where we started the social media, we started the podcast, and buying real estate. We had a few units, and that was like right as COVID hit in 2020. And we said, let's see if we can take this thing to the next level.
Awesome. And so now, Ryan, you came in, you saw what he was doing. You were like, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to do this as well. And then, but how did you guys determine, hey, if we're going to do this, we might as well tell the story while we're doing it? When did you see that you were getting traction on your social media and people were starting to pay attention to you?
Sure. So for me, actually, this whole thing, the inception of this started with the FIRE movement. So I just want to keen in on that. And Cory and I would come home from the W-2s and we sit around. We're like, dude, there's a way to shrink our time horizon to retirement, right? Whatever that looks like. And so then, we look up how to become rich, how to become most wealthy. Then it's real estate, right? 90% of millionaires become so through real estate. So that's really how real estate became the thing. But to speed back up to your question, kind of going to the podcast, we were like, we need to be able to share our story, but be different than everybody else out there. A lot of it seemed like it was commercialized, people with 1,000 units. And Cory was like, that's his real pitch to me to actually start the podcast. At first I was like, dude, why do you want to start a podcast? Like I'm down to do the real estate investing, but we don't have any units. Who's going to want to hear our story? We have like less than a handful. And he's like, the pitch was, hey, we'll be the guys that you can grow with us. We're going to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, and really we're going to follow the roadmap together. And so I was like, you know what? I like that. But I go, dude, just so you know, if we're going to do this thing, I'm not able to just do it as a hobby. Like I kind of obsess over things and like, it's going to become a game and we're going to build it out. And he's like, all right, man, like that's why I'm tagging you in. So let's do it. And so that really became, okay, we had the podcast. It started pretty, okay. I'll give it that. I don't want to say bad. Everything's horrible in the beginning, but he and I just sharing our story. And then at one point we had Chad Coach Carson, who he's an investor down in South Carolina. And he wrote the book, Retire Early with Real Estate, that we read. And we're like, let's try to get Chad on the show. We'd love to just network with him. We read his book. He's mentored us without even knowing it. We wrote him this really nice, I don't know, a little paragraph, sent it to a DM and maybe emailed him too. We got a reply back. He's like, sure, guys, I'll come on your show. We were blown away. So we prepared, we built this big outline, and Cory and I just had our first professional interview, and it was like interviewing, one of your superstars, you're one of your heroes. And we, apparently nailed it because he said, you guys did an amazing job. Like you should continue doing this. And we just needed that small belief in us to take it to the next level. And so, things have kind of flourished since then. We've had a lot of big name people on the show, and it's allowed us, we've used it as a tool to organically network and get in the rooms with people. Instead of paying for a mastermind $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 when we had zero, it's like, this is the free way to get in the door, show some value, allow them to have a platform. And then we started the social media page. So that way, anyone listening to the show, they could get to the head of the beast. They could DM us. We'd actually give them feedback in real time. And you're really talking to us. And that's really, I think, what's allowed us to kind of get to the next level where it's not just preaching. We're actually kind of having conversations and building community with our community.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, and it looks like it's happening in real time. And you've got, podcasts are great because you can always go back and see the evergreen, see where they started. And to have somebody say, hey, we're starting this and you can start with us and see how we grow. It seems in my mind, this is an opinion, more authentic than somebody that's done all the work and then goes, all right, look what I've done. But they're starting from a point of, hey, I've had all this success. Trust me in this. You guys actually can show, hey, just go to podcast 001 and see where we were then. And that gives people the belief that they can do it too.
Well, Michael, that was the exact reason that we came up with, because what I realized is that it's so easy for people that are at this high level to say, you should do this because I did that. And it's like, but that's not the thought process in the beginning when you first started. You were afraid to do that. You didn't know that that was the right move. And now hindsight's 2020 and you're telling people to do this, but they don't have the same capacity to think like you do because they're not at the stage that you're at. So I'm thinking if you follow along, you can literally see our journey like creeping up 6 months after 6 months after 6 months. And some people say that, hey, I went back and listened to your first couple episodes and I'm like, I feel bad for you. I don't know why you did that, but thank you for tuning in for as long as you have. And now we've evolved, we've developed, and we're talking and having conversations and providing value and getting in partnerships with the people that we wanted to, and we aspired to be like. And podcasting is the greatest form of mutual exchange of advertising, right? Like they wanted to come on because we had a little bit of an audience and we wanted to listen to them selfishly to ask all the questions that we couldn't ask the authors because we didn't have their contact information. So that is exactly why we did it.
Right. It's such a great way to also pinpoint your education. So when the people that you've had on, because you've had a lot of folks in this industry and maybe with some other vertical industries on, which ones have you had a podcast with? You get off the podcast and Ryan, you turn to Cory, or Cory, you turn to Ryan and say, wow, that was amazing. We need to take that and implement that like yesterday.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I mean, I'll tell you this: our biggest, I don't know, hero in the game as we were reading and learning in the beginning was Brandon Turner, right? He was the host of Bigger Pockets at the time. He was like, when you thought of real estate, when you Googled it, like that beardy Brandon popped up, right? And David Green, obviously, that was our era of Bigger Pockets. And so for us, like, we're like, okay, our goal is to get Brandon on the show at some point. And we literally did it by stepping stone, 6 degrees of separation, got everyone around him on the podcast. And then finally someone was like, hey, Brandon, you know, these guys really want you on the show. You should go on. I'm telling you, when we had Brandon on the show, it validated everything we did, but also the amount, because he had felt like 10,000 podcast episodes, the information that he could give in a bite-sized time frame, it was gold. He was dropping gem after gem and really giving us a masterclass in 60 minutes of how to become a real estate investor, how to better your life, how to get 1% better. And truly Cory and I sat back after that podcast episode and we're like, dude, that was unbelievable. We had so many clips, we had so many notes, and I was trying to take notes while listening to him and staying engaged. And for me, that's probably my favorite, going back to like pivotal moment, that like earth-shattering podcast. And then we've had a couple more trickle in, but for me, that's the one that I think about and I really am proud of.
Yeah, it's always cool. They say never meet your heroes, but when your heroes pull through, it's pretty awesome. And he is one of the OGs. He's great, and obviously he pulled through for you guys. So, Cory, what about you?
I would say there's been a number for me that I would say David Green would be one, mainly because at the end of the conversation, he was the face of Bigger Pockets, and he said something very similar that Chad said. He's like, you guys should keep doing this. Like, you're pretty good at it. And Ryan and I have a little bit of a chemistry that we've worked on over the years, and just the amount of conversations. It's built us into these people that I feel like I'm bulletproof. Like, I can go into any room and at least have a conversation and provide value to those people. So that, for him to say that, I was like, wow, like, okay, he knows speaking to people. He knows podcasting. The other person that I would think of that's not exactly real, well, he is a real estate investor, but didn't come from that world, would be Mikey Taylor. And that was someone that we got introduced through another connection, Rich Summer. So having those guys on, now we're in masterminds with Rich and Mikey. He was talking about his skateboarding career, and just like I think we just got so much better at having conversations that people felt like, oh man, like this is actually fun to talk to these guys. Like, it's not just like I have to go do another podcast. So those two for sure were like, wow, like I enjoy this. Like, it's middle of my workday and I get to do this, and I have some gratitude behind it. So that was probably those two.
That's cool. Cause when you're on a podcast, when things are, somebody is just maybe trying to do something or get something. It sounds like you guys come from at the heart of like, hey, come give. We're going to ask questions. We're going to find out a little bit more about you and amplify your voice to get out there. So we want to know about you. And it comes out. I'm asking the questions, but I can always tell you guys, your podcast, you're all about the individual on there and trying to elevate them. So with that being said, with those, let's talk about the podcast. You guys decided to go partnerships. Now, partnerships, you get different opinions about partnerships. I've been in a great partnership that actually ended, but it ended well. How do you guys determine every year to stay together, or do you guys get together every year, or do you have Stephen Covey has this line, begin with the end in mind. So tell me if you've thought through that.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Ryan and I are looking at each other, pointing who's going to talk. I think we both have something to say about this. It's funny that you asked this, Michael. I don't even have the thought in my brain of whether or not we're going to stay together. And I hope after I say this that Ryan says the same thing, but it's like we're married, but in a brotherly way, right? Like that's how it really is. Because here's the thing. Partnerships in general, I was told in the beginning, never get into a partnership because I was told by the people that had failed partnerships that didn't work. So they're going to tell me their experiences. But Ryan and I have always come back to our partnership is the most important partnership that we have. We're the glue that is tied. We're the main characters in our own journey. So we've had failed partnerships. We've had with other people. We've had partnerships that have gone great, but over 300 podcast episodes that we've done, and we've partnered with 2 to 3 people, probably another 2 to 3 that didn't work out, right? So it's like for us, the two of us, our partnership has just been rooted in trust and having more fun that we're doing this together. It's like I cannot even tell you the last month or 2 months of the ups and downs of just being in business. And like, I'm sure you know, but like I've had ups, downs, I've had good and bad, and having Rye somewhere around me to be able to balance each other out has been the greatest gift I could ask in business. So I don't even think about it. And I don't know what Rye's going to say right now. Hopefully the same thing, but
yeah, I'm going to echo, I'll make a couple other points, but like, I want to echo that this is a marriage and our operating agreement is the certificate. So stamp that one. And really the way I think about it is, you know, Cory and I, we not only went to college together, but we lived together. And I think anyone listening, if you had a roommate at some point, you learned something about that person, just like their habits, how they carry themselves, do they show up for themselves in a lot of things. And so for us, you know, obviously he has a girlfriend, I'm married with a wife, and like, but together, like Cory and I spent so much time together that I just treat him as a family member at this point. And I say that to say, like, putting yourself and the partnership together, like anything that I do is going to impact Cory. Anything he does is going to impact me. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes it's not so great, right? Because you're always thinking about the other person and you have to make certain decisions. But going at this alone is, I think we could go fast. I could go fast, but together we're going much further. And I know there's a quote about that, but what I want to say to people that are trying to get in partnerships or thinking about it, you have to vet out the people that you want to be with all the time, because there's so many things. Like Cory's seen my social security number. We're sharing so many different things, like every personal information, any type of personal information that you could possibly think of from a number standpoint and like a financial backing. Like Cory's seen it and he knows about it. And I don't think people can handle that all the time. And there's a lot of other people that'll say, dude, that's not healthy. You shouldn't do that. But for what we're doing, we have the podcast, we have the real estate business, we have a mentorship program. We have so many different things. And oh, by the way, we're best friends in real life. So it's like, we need to balance all of these things in symphony or synchronicity, because if one falls off, then it's just going to rattle the rest of the things. So back to what Cory said in the beginning, I think it all does come back to, we have to put our partnership first, meaning like Cory and I, like our relationship before the business. I don't care about the dollars. We will go find dollars wherever they are. Like, I just know that Cory and I 50-50 on this thing. We share 50% of the risk, but I said this the other day or earlier in another podcast. It's like, it's 50% more fun going at it with him. You ever been on a vacation, maybe before you had a spouse or someone, you're just looking around at like the beautiful world or wherever you're traveling, like, this is amazing, but I wish someone else could see it. For me, I feel the same way with Cory. I'm like, if I'm going and doing something amazing in business, it would last a little bit, maybe about the new car. It's so cool. But having him there on the journey makes it so much more fun. We get to celebrate it together. When I get to go buy the dream car, buy the dream house, you know who's going to be just as proud of me as me? Cory, because he saw me go through all the ups and downs for how long we've been going through this thing. So I don't know if I said that all concisely, but for us, we view this as a marriage, and really, like, you have to look out for one another, and it makes you not be selfish in so many different types of ways.
Well, you just laid out how a partnership should work. One of the things that I love about what you both said is you both deferred to each other, and so in a partnership, you were there to serve the other person. And I think, Ryan and Cory, I think you articulate this well. When you have two people going in the same direction, you can go 5 times as fast as one person. I will tell you this. I had a partnership. It lasted 8 years. It was great. It ended well because we both had the same values. And we both knew, we both got together every year and said, hey, are we going to do this again? And what happened in this instance was life changed for my partner, and he wanted to go in a different direction. And it ended, we didn't want it to end for the very same reason that you two guys talk about. Like, you guys are basically not just friends, but brothers in this, and going in the same direction. We ended it. It had to end for that for a reason, but we're still friends. We still root for each other. We're on Voxer every other day. We're competing now a little bit, but when I lose out to him, it makes me feel good. And when I beat him, it makes me feel good. So it's one of those things that we still root for each other. So, I would say just keep going as long as you guys have that same mentality. But begin with the end in mind. Just understand that just because a partnership ended, that doesn't mean that has to happen to you guys. If you guys have that vision, and you align that vision, then keep it going for as long as you want. That's the beautiful thing.
Just want to jump back in here and say one thing, and it's I don't think we're not naive to think that there's not going to come a time where one of us wants to do something else, or not maybe break apart from each other, but some life hits you and you're like, whoa, we need to make a decision. Like, I just think that's going to happen in life. Like, you have kids, you move away, or whatever it is. But I have to say this, we mentioned partnerships throughout the episode, right? And we met a lot of different people in walks of life on the podcast. The one person who has never failed me is Cory Jacobson. We've been in so many other partnerships where we are promised the heavens and you get dog water. And truly, it's like, okay, I know exactly what I don't want now, and I'm going to protect what I have. And so there are some things that annoy me about Cory. There's some things about Ryan that definitely annoys Cory. Like, I'm overarching, I'm bullish, and he's like, okay, calm down, buddy. So there's just a lot of different things. And I say that to say, I don't want us to come off as perfect, because we have these things where we just, it's a relationship. You let that person dig in when they have to. You pull back, and it's like, it's a tug of war. But it's in a way where at the end is like, we're still on the same team, dude. Like, it's fine. Yeah. Like, that's your thing. This is my thing, and we have conversations about it. If your communication is poor, then you are going to have a poor partnership. There's hard conversations that we have a lot. And it's like, dude, I know when I'm annoying him, and I know if I'm trying to bail on something, and he's like, dude, we need to stick this out. I'm like, okay, well, why did you say that? How do you think about it? I want to know how you came to that conclusion. And if you can convince me, okay, we're good. And I know my character traits that are not the best, and he knows his that are not the best. And like, you don't even have to say sorry sometimes. Like, it's just like we take a step back, and we know, we're like, my bad, dude. Like, we're gonna be okay. But he stays in his lane, I stay in mine. We've divided up all of our businesses to go for each other's strong suits. We have an integrator, we have a visionary. We've worn both hats at many times. Now Cory's the visionary, I'm the integrator. We're just doing it to chug along and get to the next level, and you fill the roles. And it's hard for me now to think about partnerships and to talk to people and give you a concise way to like find a great partner, because there's so many intangibles. And I can say this to you, Michael, because you know it. And like, you could find someone that's great on paper, but their morals, their values, like, you just don't really like being around them after a while. And you're like, when I have to question things over and over and over, it bothers me, and I'm out. Like, I once you break my trust in me, I'm done. And so Cory, he's just never done that, and it's a brotherhood. So I just wanted to add that color in there, because there's so much more to it than try a partnership or don't try a partnership. You're getting into a bond.
Right. You mentioned the intangibles. The intangibles seem like, because you guys were friends, roommates, college roommates before this all ever began to happen. They're really, you're correct. There's a lot of intangibles there. All right. Well, let's get into the nuts and bolts of the business a little bit. Tell me what your average week looks like. What is the cadence of your company? What are you guys each doing each week? Tell me about that.
Well, so our company started out as a real estate company, and we still buy real estate. In fact, we just closed on a 10-unit project in Vermont. I was mentioning this pre-recording about a month ago. But the day-to-day looks a little bit different for both of us, because I run our mentorship program and I buy real estate full-time. And Rye runs our mentorship program and buys real estate, another full-time job, but he has a full-time job as well. So he still has maintained the W-2 job for a number of reasons. He has a family. He's going to be exiting at some point, but it's more so like to help us get loans. So I took the plunge first. And this was about 8 months ago, where I left my full-time job to go all in on the mentorship program and real estate. So the day-to-day looks, actually, I don't even know if we've been asked this on a podcast, so I can give it to you. Basically, Mondays and Fridays, we do podcast interviews for our podcast, right? Tuesdays, typically Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays we're doing on other shows, but today we did it on a Monday. And then I'm taking prospective calls for people that want to be into our want to come into our mentorship program. Outside of that, we're analyzing deals, we're managing our partnerships, and we're running our actual coaching program. We have calls on Monday nights. So I think the weeks look very different, but I am the front-facing sales. I do the deal analysis. I'm doing the marketing. I'm running our ads. And Ryan, because he has a full-time job, is doing the back end of the email integration, the funnels, and connecting all the dots in the back end there. So I think our weeks look different, but I mean, it's funny is we just have an ongoing 6-year conversation in our text messages or phone calls. It just never really stops. And it's funny because we always go, oh yeah, one last thing. Oh yeah, one last thing. And it's never the last thing ever, ever, ever. So those are kind of the ways that I was literally like have my calendar in front of me. That's kind of how our weeks have added up, where Mondays and Fridays we front load doing a lot of our work together because Rye is remote. And then in the middle of our weeks, I'm doing a lot of our sales, marketing, underwriting deals, and connecting with some of the vendors that we do our real estate partnerships with.
Ryan, that about sums it up.
About sums it up, man. I think there's one other thing I want to touch on because people always they want to know the perfect routine, and I think everybody has a different one. We're not the 5 a.m. club guys, and I don't get me wrong, I love the 5 a.m. club guys, but I have a 2-year-old daughter, and that's impossible because she's going to be waking up right at 6, and I'm going to have an hour, so it's not going to really be that great. So I'm the 6 to midnight guy. And so that's where I get a lot of my work done and like the back end stuff. So I think just kind of showing people like you can still maintain a W-2 job, buy real estate, start a business, start a podcast. But, Cory and I had to make a decision like last fall where we were cranking and he's like, listen, man, like I'm ready to leave within the next 6 months, but I'm going to do it now. And that was so hard. We had to go through the roller coaster of, him feeling imposter syndrome. Where's the money going to come from every single month? It's easy to make a couple of times, but like, is this sustainable for a year, 2 years, 3 years? And so that's just been a journey. And we're trying to build $1 million business, and to do that in 8 months, we have not done that yet, but we're on our way. And it's been a crazy journey, man. But the last, 4 years, we've been putting out a ton of information for free, and just, it almost feels like just you're turning on the hamster wheel. We're like, we need to, monetize this and like showcase our skill sets and actually like make this a full-time living if this is something we want to do. And so that's we've been able to bring it to life, last fall, and it's been awesome. And so that's just a peek behind the curtain. Cory explained it perfectly, how we break up our weeks.
Yeah, it's always hard to take that leap and leave the job and do it. So Ryan, do you have a timetable? Do you have a certain benchmark that is like, all right, once we hit this, I'm all in? Or are you going to do what Cory did and go, well, I'm going to just accelerate it?
I'm going to plead the fifth here in case anyone from my W-2 is listening, but we do have these conversations quite frequently. And, I think that I just want to humanize this a bit, like anyone thinking about this, it's truly the golden handcuffs, right? You're making over 6 figures. You have, my concern is health insurance, right? And hey, if we want to have another baby, then the 401k match, that's not as big of a deal, right? Because you can do the solo 401k and all that stuff. But all of these come into play, and I want to time it up to the point of like when the dollars are at the right amount, I'll be ready to go. And that's, I don't think people should just burn the boat because they feel like they should do it.
Right.
And everyone has their own situation. And so I don't want to get too into exactly what mine is, but Cory and I, eventually I will set sail and join him. We've been able to make this work while, throwing away that high income to do this right now, it wouldn't be wise because I need to also help fund certain deals and things on the back end. And hey, if we're having a light month on the business, where I can kick back in some of his dollars. So it's all intentional is what we're doing right now. And so I would say, give it the next, hopefully, I can't even give a timeline. I'm not going to give a timeline.
Don't give a timeline.
It doesn't happen.
Plead the fifth. I like how you did that. You have a map, follow the map, and everything will work out. All right. Well, guys, so Ryan, Cory, where can people find you guys? Where are all the locations where people can find out more about your podcast, more about you guys on social media? Where's the best place to find out more about what you do?
The best place to find us would be Instagram at Wealth Juice Official. We have a comboed Instagram. Ryan and I run it together. If you DM us, you're talking to likely me. So We have our podcast is the Wealth Juice Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, on wherever you would listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify. But on Instagram is where we do most of our interacting with people. And what we found, Michael, is that building our real estate portfolio to just over 80 units in the past 6 years, we've learned a lot. We've learned what we like, what we don't like. And one of the things that we felt like we could really impress upon people and really help them with was helping people get their first or next rental property, like getting started. If you came to me and you're like, Cory, I have 12 properties. Can you help me get to 100? I'd say, sure, but there's probably somebody that could help you a lot better. But if you're looking to get your first or next, if you're looking to get 1 to 5, 1 to 8, I think Ryan and I have seen the way how to build a team, how to analyze deals, how to set goals, how to surround yourself with the right people. And as soon as we did that, we started leveling up to different rooms and paying for mentorships ourselves. That's when things accelerated. So that's our biggest focus right now. But the best way for you to find us, if you're interested in that or just want to follow us for content purposes, we post every single day on Instagram at Wealth Juice Official would be the way to get in touch with us.
Okay, beautiful thing. And you mentioned mentorships, you mentioned people. So you can either have a mentor or maybe the book that you would say, hey, I recommend this for the people that are just starting out. They haven't got their first deal. This is a book that either gave me good information or this was actionable stuff. And I recommend this to everybody starting out. How would you guys answer that question?
Are you looking for business or real estate or both?
Yeah, I'm looking for hey, it could be a mindset book. This is a choose your own adventure, Cory.
Nice. Okay, I like those. I would say my favorite has been $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. That's something that I've been diving into. And because my focus probably 75% of the time right now is our core business of the mentorship program, and just listening to somebody who runs a $250 million a year acquisitions firm, like the way that he thinks, he will help you craft your business in that book. That book to me is a Bible, really. So that's the one that's made the most impact on me recently. And then I was trying to think of another mindset one, but Rye probably has another book to go ahead. You can. I have one more, but I'll think of it.
Yeah, I'll give you the quick three for me, and I don't want to be just like everybody else, but I'm going to give you in a trilogy, right? So the first book for your mindset, going into real estate investing to flip your mind, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That is just change yourself from a consumer to an investor. Next book would be the book on rental property investing by Brandon Turner. That was my Bible when we started out. Unbelievable book. It's the how-to. Just keep it in your car, keep it around you, highlight it. And then the next one for me was called Tribe of Millionaires. I believe it's David Osborne. So that's the creators of Go Abundance, that mastermind. And that book just showcases, there's another book out there called Who Not How. So they kind of parallel together, but it's like finding the who to surround yourself with will allow you to get to the next level of your life because they've already attained it. And then by surrounding yourself with those people on a daily basis, you are naturally just going to get pulled up to their level. And so for me, those 3 books, if you read those right away, you're going to be like, I'm ready. Like I'm in. So that's what I recommend. All
right, Cory, any bookend? Did you think of it?
I couldn't find it.
It's all right. We'll end
it was in the back of my head somewhere.
Well, hey, Cory, Ryan, it's been great having you on. And I think one of the things that, Ryan, just to put a button on that, get in those rooms, talk to those people. If you're starting out and you're new, go find Cory and Ryan on Instagram. Go listen to their podcast and connect with them on IG. And their mentorship program may be for you. With that being said, guys, thank you for being on this podcast. Really appreciate it. It was very informative, and you guys really appreciate your time. Folks, like and subscribe. Real Estate Pros Podcast, brought to you by Investor Fuel. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.